what I heard back from my team is that the most underutilized online tool is our subject guides and course guides.
Hi everyone, my name is Dallas Wobbington, and thank you so much for tuning into episode 5 of the Online Student Experience podcast. I am here today with our guest Amanda from the library. I'll go ahead and give her a chance to introduce herself.
Hey everyone, I'm really excited to be here today with Dallas. My name is Amanda Zarang. I am the Associate University Librarian for Public Services at the UNT Libraries.
Awesome, well, we're so glad to be able to have you here today.
Thank you.
So our main focus for today's episode is kind of going into the library and different resources and services they offer, give Amanda a chance to kind of tell the students what we have available here. But we'll go ahead and go into the first question. Can you tell us a bit about your role as a librarian and how you assist students?
Absolutely. And this is my favorite thing to talk about. As I mentioned, I'm the Associate Dean, Associate University Librarian for Public Services. And Public Services is a really great team that provides this breadth of services for all students, faculty and staff, for the UNT community. And these services range from helping you find books and articles to helping with research questions, teaching classes. We basically do whatever we can with our expertise to help you be successful, to help with your academic success.
Yay, I'm so glad to hear that. I am a former UNT student, and so me and the library were best friends. I was always there, always taking advantage of different workshops that were available.
Yes.
So definitely recommend if you ever have a chance being able to attend their workshops. But going on to the next question, what inspired you to work in library sciences?
The students.
Mhm.
Librarianship is actually my second career. So
Mhm.
I practiced law, I practiced school law for about a decade, and then stayed home with my kids for about a decade. And I knew for my second career that I wanted something with a healthy work-life balance. Um, and so my plan was to go to grad school, get my master's in library science, and work at a downtown law firm supporting attorneys.
Mhm.
And during grad school, I got a part-time job at the libraries at Willis Library, for y'all that are familiar with that, and I was able to help and support students. And at that moment, I was like, this is it. It completely changed my career trajectory. I decided at that point, I want to help students. I want to work in academic libraries, and there was no going back.
Mhm. I find that's very similar for people who come and work for higher education, that they never really intend on coming straight into higher
Yes.
education. It's that same story of I was planning on doing something else. I went and worked for, something at the university,
Uh-huh.
and then I realized, oh, I think I actually want to do
Yeah.
this as a
I
career.
love this. Yes.
In one of our past episodes, I discussed with our previous guest that I originally went to undergrad for English. I was going to go to journalism, writing, things like that. Then got involved on campus and realized
Uh-huh.
this is a career path for
Yes.
me. So
Awesome.
I always find that, and I always tell people, sometimes we go into a field, we think this is what we want to do. I don't want to do
Mhm.
anything else. And then something
Right.
happens along the road and we just, switch career
Yeah.
paths.
Mhm.
All right.
Well, I'm
So,
glad you did.
right. And now we're here. All right. Moving on to the next question.
Yeah.
What led you to pursue your current position?
Right. So I've been in this role for a little over a year now. I mentioned that I had a part-time job about a decade ago. Then I moved into doing copyright work for the library
Hmm.
for about a year. And then I went to TWU, but I knew I always wanted to make my way back to UNT.
Hmm.
So when I saw that this role was open, I knew I had to try my hardest to get back to UNT.
Hmm.
And I'm so glad that I made it.
Hey, I'm so glad you're here. I worked for a little bit at TW as well
Oh,
for like an internship.
yeah.
Um, and I loved seeing both sides of it, seeing coming from a
Yes.
smaller institution, and their library is beautiful
Yes.
over there.
And their people are awesome.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Like UNT. Yeah.
hmm Yeah, so I understand being like, GW is awesome. I also like to go back to UNT because, I graduated here, so I'd like to
Yes.
be able to work for my alma mater.
Yes. Absolutely.
All right, so next question. The UNT library offers distant learning services. Can you explain what this is
Sure.
and what type of services are provided?
Sure, absolutely. And there's so many services that y'all forgive me. I'm going to be looking down at my notes for this, but
Understandable.
um, okay, yeah. So what we strive to do at the libraries is to provide almost the exact type of experience for our distance learning students.
hmm
Um, I always recommend that students start at our library homepage, and that is library.unt.edu. So we make it easy for everyone to
hmm
remember. And there, students can search for online articles, for ebooks. If you need a break on the weekend and want to stream a movie or films, everything is accessible online.
hmm
Um, but the question often comes up, what if I need something that's a physical book? So it's in print in the library. And we have a service where we will go pull the book for you and mail it to you.
hmm
If you don't need the whole book, you just need chapter 13, we can scan it for you and provide it through this sort of safe online service that we provide, that the library provides for the community. If you're searching online and you find this awesome book that's perfect for your research, and you look at the library webpage and we don't have it, we can borrow it for you. So it's called interlibrary loan. We can borrow it from another library for you and mail it to you. Or if you have enough time, we may be able to purchase it, put it in our collection, and then you can borrow it from us whenever you need. So that's a little bit about the resources we have, but I think
hmm
our most important resource that we have at the libraries are the employees. So we also have what we call subject librarians, and that's a little bit of a library term, but what it means is there's a librarian who can help you with every subject that you're studying.
hmm
And you can find that list on our homepage also of who you may want to reach out to directly if you're having a tough time in a course or you're having a tough time figuring out where to find research articles or books about something that you're interested in or something that you need for your class. And they are able to meet, of course, in person, but online, by email, over the phone, and they can help you find resources. We have plethora of databases that they can help you navigate through, help with your research, or maybe you want something a little different. Maybe you want help or information about publishing. We have someone who can help you with that. Or finding data sets or government information or legal information. There is a librarian or subject matter expert that can help you, and they want to help you.
Yes. Some of these resources you've stated, I really wish I would have known about them when I attended
Yes.
UNT. Like the interlibrary loan.
Yes.
Usually I would go online, try to find the book, be like, they don't have it. I'm just gonna try to find it somewhere else. But
Yes.
it's so nice being able to know that is an option for students.
Yes. I remember when I was working years ago when I was working at the desk, what I would tell students is we never want you to pay for a book or article. We want to get it for you.
Mm-hmm. See, no, write that down. Write that down. But thank you. Okay, going on to the next question. What are some of the most underutilized resources available to online students in the university library?
I had to ask my team about this because all I see is people and the librarians and library employees helping. But what I heard back from my team is that the most underutilized online tool is our subject guides and course guides. So I'm going to ask you, have you ever looked at those as a student?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So hopefully we're going to reach more students
Yes.
with this. So guides are pages online, so information found online,
Mm-hmm.
created by subject experts about topics that topics or courses that you may need to help with your academic success.
Mhm.
So easy to locate. It's guides.library.unt.edu. So the same as our landing page, but guides is in the beginning. And you can browse hundreds of these guides about art, about chemistry, about how to avoid plagiarism. I can't even name all of the things.
Mhm.
And there are even guides that are about your specific course. So you'll probably have heard this from your professor, but the subject matter experts at the library will create a course guide that lists possibly links to the articles that the professor wants you to read for your class, or other resources that may help with your research, or if you need information or help, or any sort of guidance on how to do a literature review. So just so much information all in one place. So you don't have to click on so many different links, or if you're like me, have 400 tabs open. You don't have
Me.
to do that. You just go to that guide and you find all the information that you need.
Ah, see, I'm learning so much, would have really been helpful, but this is why we're doing episodes like this.
Absolutely. We do the live and learn. That's what I tell
Yes, yes.
I tell my family too. Do as I say, not as I did.
Exactly, exactly. Up next is what advice would you give to distance learners who are unsure about how to ask for help with library services and
Okay,
resources?
that's an excellent question. And first, I want to reassure everyone who's watching or listening that we are here for you and we want to hear from you. And they have made it as easy as possible to get in touch with the library.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Ask Us.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to our library homepage, you can click on the Ask Us button and chat with someone.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like maybe it's the middle of the night and you want to do you have a question, you can email us at askus@unt.edu. Sorry, I paused on that
No,
one.
you're good. It's a lot.
Yes. And you can also go and find information about how to call us, and you can contact your subject librarian directly.
Mm-hmm.
It's very similar to what we heard when we were going through K through 12. There really is no dumb question. We are
Mm-hmm.
here to help you with your classes and with academic success.
Absolutely. Definitely want to emphasize there's no dumb questions. Trust us, we've heard it all. and
Right.
and that's what we're here for. We're here to help.
Yes.
And I always try to emphasize that to students as well is I mean, I was a student myself. I
Yeah.
was always like, I can figure out myself. I don't need to ask for help. But there's definitely times where I think, it's okay to ask for help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's the other aspect of that is knowing that there's this place where I can ask for help, and we
Hmm.
may not have all the answers, but we know who can find the
Hmm.
answer for you, or we will find the answer for you.
Oh yes, and it's so nice too because I was always on the library website
Yes.
in grad school, and so I would log in and I would literally just see Ask a Librarian towards the top of the page, which was
Uh-huh.
always so nice and so convenient to have it right there, and I don't have to like we have a million tabs always open. It's
Yes.
nice to see it right there and available.
Yes, absolutely.
So thank you. Um, Next question is, are there any tools or workshops available to help online students learn how to navigate the library systems efficiently?
Yes, and I'm glad that you sent that question to me a little bit earlier because I had to do some relearning on my own. But
Mm-hmm.
we have a library YouTube channel, and so when I was looking for it, I just Googled YouTube and UNT libraries, and it brought me immediately to a number of videos, many of which are exactly what you asked about.
Mm-hmm.
How do I find online articles? How do I stream videos? How do I do this type of research? And so, if you are that student, the one that I mentioned earlier who's having to work in the middle of the night and there's not anyone awake who can help you, you can go to that video.
Mm-hmm.
The course guides often have, the course and subject guides that I mentioned earlier often have that type of information too, but depending on what kind of learner you are, watching a video may be more helpful
Yes.
for you. And let me look at my list to make sure I'm mentioning everything. Oh yeah, um, on the library's YouTube channel, there are also what they've called library hacks, which is really cool. So little hints, little short videos with hints about how to navigate our search system, how to look at our catalog, how to find resources. And then, of course, I have to mention it one more time. If you don't see what you need, ask us.
Yes. That's definitely, ah, I just love being able to learn things because I'm English background. I'm a huge book nerd. So I I love seeing the different resources that library
Yeah,
offers. And, you know, stereotypically when people think of a library, they think of books. But there's
absolutely.
literally millions of other things that UNT Library
Yes,
offers.
yes, absolutely. And I think truthfully, our print collection is just a small portion of what the UNT Libraries offers to the
Hmm.
community. Our electronic collection, with all of our databases, it's absolutely mind-blowing what you can
Hmm.
find and what you can learn.
And you bringing up that YouTube channel is absolutely helpful because I'm definitely a person where I need to be able to see it and then figure it
Uh-huh.
out. Because if someone tries to explain it to me verbally, it's not I'm not going to comprehend
Yes,
it.
absolutely. Yeah. And I'm glad that we provide that type of teaching and learning information in so many different formats. I think it's awesome.
Yes, so check out their YouTube channel, especially if you're like me, and wait till 2 a.m. to try to work on an assignment.
That's one of the situations where I tell my family, do as I say, not as I did. I can't imagine how many nights I had to stay up all night.
Exactly. I have these degrees. Don't ask me how I got them, but I did it. And then rounding up towards the end of this
Yeah.
episode, what projects or events are coming up from the library?
So we have so many events that I'm going to tell you another thing to look at on our library homepage.
Mm,
So it's library.unt.edu. And if you scroll down a little bit, we have a calendar of events. And you will just be amazed at how many different things that we offer. And also another resource for grad students is to look at the grad school, their homepage, because then
mm.
you can see some of the online workshops that the library is collaborating with the grad school to help students with their research, with finding grant funding from nonprofits. Just the variety of things that they offer is great.
Oh yes, the as a former grad student, the amount of different workshops and things between the library and the graduate school,
Yes,
it helped me so much. Even if you're not in graduate school, like some of their like writing workshops are so
yes.
helpful, especially if you're interested in pursuing grad school and
Hmm.
kind of don't know where to start.
Right,
So
right.
recommend that. And then lastly, how can students reach you?
So I think the easiest to remember may be through the Ask Us service, but
Hmm.
also I want to hear from you. I want to help. My email address is amanda.zerangue, so Zerangue at unt.edu. I like to say that my calendar is always open. So if there's any time that someone wants to talk or discuss something, I can always refer you to the subject matter experts also.
Yes. If you don't know who to talk to, Amanda or ask us. Well, thank you so much for being here
Thank
today. It was an
you.
absolute pleasure being able to talk to you.
Yes, thank you. Same to you. I'm so glad we met.
And then for our listeners, if you are not already, feel free to follow us on all of our social media. We're on Facebook and we are on YouTube and Instagram. You just look up UNT Online Student Experience or at unt.ose. And then, of course, absolutely check out our website as well for different resources. We also have some different tabs relating to the library, so check that
Great.
out. But thank you guys so much again for listening and go Mean Green.
Go Mean Green. I want to hear from y'all.